Hey folks, Mike here. This is another personal update. It's been a little while. I think December was the last one. Did get some videos going into January though, so that was pretty good. I didn't fall off the earth completely. However, I did a little over 2 weeks ago now. I got the flu, so I was definitely knocked out of commission for a while there. It was not fun. First time I've had the flu potentially ever. I can't really remember all that well. It used to be with all the stuff I take that knocks down my immune system. I never get fevers or anything. So it was quite the experience. Every single joint ached all the way down to my toes. I had a fever for the first time in probably like 10 years. It was fun. So I am back in the land of the living again, and starting to feel quite a bit better. So I'm hoping to get back to making some videos again here soon. I'd really like to get back to doing some streaming. Again, that's something that's hard for me to really commit to. So just this is a pretty quick one. From what happened right before I got the flu, and what probably gave me the flu, is I did go in and I saw my sleep specialist, quote unquote, who this was someone who actually was a DO at least instead of a PA. And saw him for the first time. He's the one who looked over my sleep study originally and talked about some stuff. And it was actually pretty interesting. He's the first doctor I've had that actually has admitted that he had no idea what was going on. He said he hadn't seen a case like mine. Of course, he looked pretty young, so maybe that shouldn't be all that surprising to me. But it felt a little bit like vindication, just because, at least he wasn't throwing the same old crap at me that I've tried 1,000 times. Unfortunately, that also meant he didn't really have much in the way of any recommendations. He recommended cognitive behavioral therapy for the insomnia part, but I explained to him that wasn't really my concern. It was that I wasn't really getting any restful sleep. And we went over my results, and one of the interesting things was that I got no deep sleep at all. I apparently slept 5.5 hours of my 8-hour sleep study, which definitely did not feel like that. But and I had zero point 0.0 seconds of deep sleep as measured by the electrodes on my brain. So that could be, maybe it's just was the atmosphere or the day, or maybe that's happening every night of my life. Who knows? But he did say that while deep sleep isn't the only thing you need to get restful sleep, it's definitely a huge component. It's part of the balance that you need to get restful sleep. So I don't really know what to do about that. He didn't really have any ideas either. Did give me a new stimulant to try, which I've only tried once because of the flu thing, and it seemed to maybe help a little bit, but it most possibly could have not helped at all. I used it before I went to my physical therapy once. So yeah, that's about it for actually health related stuff. There's not really a whole lot going on right now. So really, it's just kind of I'm in a halfway decent place right now. The neck's not killing me anymore. I have limited amount of energy, which I usually blow through when I do my physical therapy and walks and stuff. Which obviously I'm going to prioritize that over doing stuff like making videos on the computer, because one's my health and one is something I do for fun. So, but that's yeah, that's about it for kind of personal health stuff. As a usual reward for people who stick through these things. Not that it's anyone needs a reward for such who actually care about this stuff, but I am kind of curious as to what to do. I don't really have much in the way of ideas for videos. I did get RimWorld finally, now that it seems to be supposedly in beta, which means, should mean that it's feature complete, right? And that's kind of what I was waiting for. I didn't really want to get stuck into some early access thing. Dwarf Fortress is enough for me with something that changes constantly and I have to relearn and deal with game crippling bugs, kind of like what I had with the last playthrough, unfortunately. And in fact, I don't even, I haven't really checked in probably like a month as to how much updates there's been. So just glancing real quick, one on January. Did I know about that? I think so. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Either I knew it was coming or I did read on it real quick. Fixing problem with companions and other close people not always recognizing your relationship with. It sounds kind of familiar. Yeah, unfortunately, with Santa's Adventure, I did it during a I don't know few week period where you weren't getting credit for the quest that you took, which was kind of the whole concept. Uh, Always fun. And then I ran a fortress after that just on my own time, trying to see if I could get any of his. I wanted to see if Santa would visit. Right, that would be kind of cool. First winter went by, nothing. I think I don't. Yeah, I might have made it to the second winter, but kind of curious if there'd be any rumors about it. And for a while there, I was having troubles, it seemed, with the rumor system, but maybe it's just not quite as full fledged as I was hoping it would be. And was like, oh, and I sent some expeditions out to try to find some of Santa's, to find the workshop, to find some of his artifacts, and those came up blank as well. And it seems it'll only find like locations that are still inhabited. I sent them to the exact, well, to the place on the map where the workshop was built, but I can only do that because it was within the same, at least zoomed out tile square as the shrine that had whatever it had in it that we attacked and killed, and then we set up the workshop south of that. And obviously, they were only going to the shrine. They didn't find anything along the way, and you can't build your own thing within a site. So there was really, it's not like we could have worked around that. So there's no way to send them directly to the workshop and have them find that. And looking back in on the original save file, Santa obviously left. Well, I don't know, obviously, but he chose to leave the workshop and go to a nearby town. So, uh, yeah. So it was kind of, I had some ideas of what I wanted to do with a fortress after that, but unfortunately, either because of or in combination with the with just the bugs in the version we played with Santa's Adventure, or just because the game just can't handle it yet, I just couldn't make that happen. So here are my ideas. One, I could do a fortress in Rimworld. I've done one. Haven't really done much in it, just to try to check it out and become familiar with it, because I wouldn't want to play anything that I was unfamiliar with. That's like watching, teeth being pulled. Usually, at least for me, it is. So I'm probably at the point where I could do a playthrough on Rimworld, and I was kicking around a couple ideas, but I got nothing really that I feel like I'd be ready for yet, probably. But if anyone else has some ideas, I'd like to hear them, or just really, I'd like to know what people would prefer to see, at least of you regulars. The other idea is I could do a new fortress. One of the ideas I had for that, assuming all the bugs are kind of ironed out, which they may be, I need to read up on this January 14th update. But I was thinking about doing a expedition. Expedition was the wrong word, wasn't it? What? Maybe they were. I don't know. Where you send a squad or five off to raid or find something, or return something, or whatever it happens to be. I'm gonna call that an expedition because my brain's fried. I don't remember what they're called. I guess I could be looking at this website I'm on right now, but then I wouldn't be able to talk. So I was thinking about doing a. Well, I want to call it a pirate. I kind of want to call it the land pirates, but really they just be bandits. Where we create a base, but we make every single dwarf a military dwarf, which is really probably my biggest fear in Dwarf Fortress. Like, I can't stand the military everything that setting it up, getting them training. It just seems like a buggy, horrible mess. Getting to wear the armor you want them to wear, I've never got that to be uh, efficient. I think I've brute forced it a couple times, but it's a huge pain in the butt. So, anyways, I was thinking a fortress, because especially in the one I was playing just on my own time for a little bit, you get with so many dwarfs, and I like to use that to try to build stuff. But then you get idlers, and then you build a tavern, and then they all get drunk, and it's a good time. But really, you're getting a lot of fodder, and what else to use fodder for but put it in a cannon, right? So we make everyone a fighting dwarf, and we just send off expeditions to all of our neighbors, far off, nearby, whatever, and try to basically rage and pillage and steal artifacts and bring them back. And I was thinking to best set this up, there's a couple ways to do it. I could do it actually with humans, but that sounds like it'd be a huge pain with bugs and run into all sorts of issues. Um, so I still think it's worthwhile to do it with dwarves. But I was thinking about maybe generating a world without goblins. So essentially, we would be the goblins. The humans, the dwarves, the elves. They may be at war with each other over various things as well, but there wouldn't be a constant goblin invasion sort of thing going on. One, we wouldn't really have to worry as much about defending ourselves against random stuff, only against people trying to get retribution for what we did to them, which I think would be pretty cool. Because the goblins are really just there to move things along, right? To cause capital fun. But we're going to already be causing plenty of that ourselves. And then it's less competition, too. We don't have to deal with stupid goblins attacking towns that we want to attack. And it should speed up the world a ton because of all the problems with all the huge underground goblin crap going on with 8 billion trolls, and I don't think that stuff's been fixed yet. So that's the idea for a fortress. And then the last one would be doing another adventure. I am completely out of ideas on adventure stuff right now. So if anyone has a really good idea, I'd love to hear it. If they'd want to see that, maybe we could vote on some ideas. If people really want to see adventures, just looking at video statistics, right? The adventures get a lot more views. Kind of surprising to me, really, but they do. At least the first few, they fall off quite a bit. At least the Santa one did, and I completely understand that because that was kind of a train wreck. But I consistently get a few hundred views on the first episode of an adventure. That is, more than something else. Not that that's determines on what I do, but it gives me a better idea of what people would like to see, right? So, but maybe not. Maybe that's just random people coming by, clicking through on stuff, and the people who actually subscribe and watch, other videos like this, maybe they want to see other things. So, that's the idea. Again, I would actually kind of like to do whatever we choose on stream, and I think I could do it, but I'm not going to commit to that. I may just choose to start it up maybe on a few videos and then move it to stream if I'm feeling up to it. But actually, the last couple of days, I've had some more energy. I've been trying some different crap because I'm always trying new stuff now that I've given up on, Western medicine. But or at least it seemed to have run out of ideas for me. So who knows? Maybe I've hit something that's helped. Maybe it's placebo. Maybe I've just got a good couple of days, or just feel a lot better because I got over the flu stuff. But that's where I'm at. So I'd love to hear it for the 20 or so of you who are going to watch this, and maybe 10 or so that'll make it through to the end. I'd love to hear what you think. And I know it could probably be difficult. I'm rambling here to really get involved when I've been so uninvolved. I've been pretty. I'm not gonna say flaky really because I have a pretty good reason for it. I don't feel guilty about it either, but obviously it's that continual, consistent interaction that grows channels and gets people feeling involved. I got some channels that I'll occasionally watch that are very rare with putting content out there, and I in turn don't really feel very motivated to watch the videos until I suddenly do. So there we go. I'm getting a phone call. That's a great place to end it. Well, thanks for watching, folks, and I will talk to you all later. Bye bye.